All right, coming at y'all live in the cut. My name is Akil Sherman. I've been a certified trainer over 20 years, and I'm not the trainer that grew up flat stomach, small waist, in shape with a six-pack. I had to work for it. Check it out. Let's talk about fat. Okay, because I know for my folks out there who are looking for fat loss, there are a few mysteries that if we solve will make your path to fat loss a lot easier. So let's get into it. So let's talk about number one, how fat is actually burned in the body, because there's a lot of confusion around that based on the methods that people take in order to achieve that goal. So here's two things you need to understand about how fat is burned, particularly through exercise. All right. So this is how fat is burned through exercise. There's two elements that have to occur. Number one, your heart rate needs to go up. OK. And then the second thing is your rate of breathing needs to go up. So your heart needs to be going up, and you need to be out of breath. So when you are doing, activity that exerts yourself and the body recognizes like, oh, okay, I'm being pushed. Let me go ahead and use that storage of energy, aka fat, as a source to allow me to continue to keep on going. So once you achieve those two things, the increased heart rate and the increased rate of breathing, then now the fat is moved into the bloodstream and ready to exit the body. And so now let's talk about the three ways that the body releases the body fat. Okay. Number one is through exhalation. So you're breathing it out, right? So that again ties into how fat is actually burned. So 85% of fat is released through the body, released from the body, through exhalation in the form of carbon dioxide, which is a byproduct as we breathe out. So that's the main thing. Then the remaining 15% is split between perspiration, meaning once your body begins to burn the fat, it is released in the sweat. Okay. And then the other 7.5% is released through urination. So when you pee it out. So here's the thing. What you want to essentially accomplish is that you're working out and exerting yourself. So you're out of breath and your heart rate is up. Because when you do that, your heavy breathing is allowing the fat to be released to your body, and then you're remaining hydrated. So therefore you can sweat. And here's a thing to understand. Just because you sweat more, you can produce more sweat on the body, but that doesn't equal more fat loss. Okay. And then lastly, like I said, you want to remain hydrated. So therefore you will have urination, you're constantly going to the bathroom. I should say constantly, but you will notice an increase in the bathroom trips. And that's a positive thing, particularly when your goal is fat loss, because that means when you're achieving, like I said, the increased heart rate and the increased breathing, now you're releasing fat through your urine. Okay. And so I talked about the relationship of sweating, of more sweat, not necessarily equaling more fat loss. Okay. And so that is where sauna suits come into a conversation, because people are wearing the sauna suit looking to sweat more in order for fat loss. Like, listen, if you are wearing the sauna suit to get toxins, to drive toxins out the body, go for it. But there is not, you're not going to lose fat by wearing a sauna suit. What it will do is produce excess sweat, because you are hot and the body is hot, and it produces the sweat to cool the body off. And so you may lose some water weight temporarily, because as soon as you drink liquid again, and if you're not dehydrated, let me say that, if you're not dehydrated, when you consume water, you're going to put the water right back. And then permanent water loss is achieved when you're hydrated. So when you're drinking water and the body feels it's getting ample hydration, it will then release the excess. And that is how you get rid of water weight permanently. But just adding on the sauna suit is not a permanent solution for water weight, and it does not equal fat loss. So you can sweat more. Like I said, if your goal is to get the toxins out of your body, sure, excess sweat will help with that. But unless you get your heart rate up and get your rate of breathing up, excess sweat does not equal fat loss. And therefore, the same is true about wearing a waist trainer. You can't just wrap your midsection with this fabric and then produce excess sweat and assume that that is fat leaving the body. That's not how the body works. We just covered how that works. Okay. So The sauna suits and the waist trainers, if your goal is to detoxify and you're trying to get some toxins out, sure, go for it. But the temporary water loss will not remain, and you're not burning fat by wearing those. All right. So I hope that makes sense. You know, comment, subscribe if you like what you heard, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. In the meantime, I'll talk to y'all. Thanks for watching, and take care.